Business phone etiquettes. Today we live in a world where communication is increasingly the most important aspect of our lives. Communication by telephone, communication by email. We communicate all the time. 80% of the business is today done over the telephone. And when you do business on the telephone, there are a number of points that one has to keep in mind so that your telephone call is an effective call. We follow what is called as the business phone etiquette. Whenever you speak on the phone, there are a set of rules that one must follow. These rules are something that will help you make your call very effective. When you talk about the telephone and you, we shall, in this particular session, give you hints and proven techniques. Part of doing business means doing business over the phone, and largely doing business over the phone. Phone is an important instrument in the daily business. What are the things that one should keep in mind to make sure your call is effective and benefits the purpose for which you're actually making the call? Ways to sound as good as you really are. In personal communications, we often have no problem in talking on a one-on-one basis. We see the other person, we can see the expressions on the person's face, we can know the body language, and a lot of other aids come to us to help us in the way we communicate with a person when we see them face to face. On a phone, it's just a sound. We got to make sure that that sound conveys everything that one needs to without the luxury of seeing the person that we are speaking to. Therefore, how do we sound as good as we really are when we're speaking to somebody else? Number one, we need to be alert. We must show that we are awake, ready to engage in a conversation, which means that we must take a call without having preconceived notions. If we are doing something before we take a call and that's disturbed us or dulled our senses, we must be fresh and alert before we make the call. Pleasantness. They say, what's the point in smiling when you talk on the phone? But you need to speak on the phone with a smile because your body language conveys right across to the other person. When you're frowning, it conveys your attitude across the phone. So smile, it makes the conversation very pleasant. You got to be natural. Avoid technical terms, slang. Use very simple and straightforward language. It makes the other person understand you better. There's not much time on a phone, so we need to get everything in those few minutes that you speak to someone. Distinctiveness. Speak directly into the phone. Many a times we are doing something and we take the phone and our voice drifts. The other person is distracted with the background noise from where you're calling. So speak directly to the phone. Use a normal tone of voice. The louder you are, the louder everyone else becomes. Expressiveness. Talk at a moderate rate and volume, but vary your voice tone. Most importantly, one mustn't frown, one must not mutter, one must not sound tired, and nor speak in a shrill voice, nor speak negatively, and most important, do not ramble. Which means that whatever is the discussions that you have to have with a person, please prepare. Make sure that you know what you want to speak, make a script where necessary, and do not ramble. The do's: always smile, speak clearly and concisely, be enthusiastic, lower the pitch of your voice. If you have especially a shrill voice, make a conscious effort to lower your pitch. Talk in a positive mood, listen and discuss. Whenever you're on the phone, remember the word picture. Pitch, picture, the first word P stands for pitch. Inflection. Inflection is very important part of a phone call. Do not talk in a monotone. Bring variations into your voice. Show interest, just like you have in a written format, exclamations, commas, semicolons, colons. Use the pauses. Do not go all out with a flat monotone because it will put off the other person who's listening to you. Courtesy. The very same courtesy that you would show when you meet somebody, shake hands, you'd say good afternoon, good evening. I think courtesies need to be followed on the telephone, over the telephone. The T, the tone. Many times it's not what you say, but how you say it. Voice should reflect a sincerity, pleasantness, confidence, and interest. Understanding. Avoid talking with anything in your mouth. You are disrespectful to the caller when you do not appreciate or respect the call that you're making. Rate of speech. People have a tendency to rattle on either due to fear or maybe because of nervousness or sheer enthusiasm. Or if your emotion run high, make sure you don't make a call when your emotions are high. The rate of speech should be adapted to personality of contact. Fast talkers can arouse suspicion, slow talkers can be irritating. We've all experienced this at one point in time when people call us and we are at the receiving end, and you know how an excessively fast speaker can lose us in the conversation. Enunciate. Very often we fail to speak clearly and words are lost. Communication is skewed, misunderstandings happen, and it can prove very costly. So even if you are not a very good talker, make sure that whatever you speak slow and you enunciate what you speak well. One of the most important aspects of a telephone call is the ability to listen. We often interject when somebody else speaks because we are either too excited or we are too scared, if it's a sale, that we may lose the sale, so we interject at every possible occasion. Do not do this. Limit your talking, listen to what the other person is saying. Do not interrupt. A pause always does not mean the individual has finished speaking. Maybe he's taking a break. Maybe a pause is used for greater effect. Listen. Don't be under the impression that every pause means you have to fill that pause with your own voice. Concentrate. Focus on the conversation. Practice shutting out outside distractions and personal concerns. Now the key to good listening is you only will be able to listen well and speak what you have to when you listen to the other point of view. Most importantly, whenever you make a phone call, keep a pen and a paper ready. Make your notes. Listen for ideas, not just words. Get the whole picture, not in bits and pieces. Interjections, an occasional yes, I see, shows that you're listening. Long gaps without uttering a single word could often make you lose the other person at the other end. Create a good first impression. Whenever a phone rings, and we've seen in the offices that it keeps on ringing, there's nobody answering the call. At home, it's excused because you're not expected to be near the phone. But in a business environment, not answering the phone within 3 rings is a crime. Most recommended, pick up the phone in the second ring. Always answer with a friendly greeting. Again, the important thing is to smile, it shows. Ask the caller their name, even if the name is not necessary for the call, and use it. Keep the phone 2 finger widths away from your mouth. Putting callers on hold. Always ask for permission before you put anyone on hold. It's very rude to have someone call you, ask for somebody else in your office, and without even taking permission, you put the caller on hold. You owe it to the caller to tell him or her that I am putting you on hold, may I put you on hold? And always, when you put a person on hold, make sure you don't put them hold for an indefinite period of time. Thank the caller for holding every 20 seconds, not a minute, not 2 minutes, because it's extremely frustrating for the other person to be suddenly put on hold, and worse still, to be asked to keep holding till the time you find whatever that is you're searching for. When you transfer a call, another important thing to keep in mind is very often people do call and you transfer the call blindly. As far as possible, transfer the call to the right person. If you know the right person whom the caller intends to speak with, limit the number of transfers, saves the caller from explaining the issue again. Whenever you transfer, make sure that the person who is taking the call is informed who the caller is, and inform the caller whom you are transferring the call to. Announce the caller to the person you are transferring always, so that nobody is caught off guard. Taking messages. We have seen people take messages and you really have no clue what the message is all about. Do yourself and the person for whom you're taking a message a favor by making sure the details of the caller is completely noted down, which includes the name, the company name, time and date of call, what is the call regarding, if it's a follow-up or a return call is needed, and the phone number of the person calling, both home and office if possible, and the time that a message could be sent back or a call could be returned. Whenever you leave a voice phone message, it should include your name, your company name, time and date of call, what the call is regarding, in brief, very, very brief. There is a 1 minute window for you to leave a message in an answering machine. Please do not start talking about all the business deals that you want to talk to the person. Make it brief. The person will call you back, or you can call the person later for a detailed talk. The last impressions. Before ending the call, always make sure you answer all the caller's questions. Always end with a pleasant end of call statement like "Have a nice day, it was nice speaking with you," and always let the caller hang up first. Don't give more than your first name. Do not get personal if they do. Be prepared for rejection. Just apologize for bothering them and graciously get off the phone. These are more applicable when you make a marketing call. If you need help, get a supervisor. Your phone message greeting, make it professional. We will conclude this particular presentation here and we can take some questions.